Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tessie and today we are going to be recreating this style. If you're new to the channel, you're welcome. If you're yet to subscribe, kindly do that and let's get right into the video. So if you're following my channel, you should know how I got this bustier. If you do not, just watch any of my bustier video, you'll see it there. So I took my shoulder divided by 2, came down to the chest line, bust point, under bust and my half length. So for the neck, I'm using 5 inches. So it's 5 inches wide. I came down by 1 inch for my shoulder slope, sloped the shoulder and curved my armhole. So I really don't want this video to be long. That's why I just did it this way. So now what we'll be doing next is working on the center front. So at the center front, I'm going to come in by 0.75. So from the center, I came in by 0.75. So I'm just going to use my marker to make that line visible. What I'll do next is connect from the neckline to that 0.75. So what I'll be doing next is from the 0.75, I'm going to be coming in here by 1.5. So you determine how wide you want that yoke area to be. So from that 0.75, I came in by 1.5. Then at this other side of the bustier, I'll be coming in by 1 inches. So it all depends on your preference. You can come in by 2 inches, 1.5. It depends on how wide you want it to be. So I came in by 1.5 and also came in here by 1 inch. Then at the shoulder area, I'll be coming down by 3.5 inches. So I came down by 3.5 inches. So what I'll do next is to connect my dots together. So I'll go ahead now to connect my lines. We are good to go with the neckline, as you can see. So what we'll be doing next is taking the bust dart. So at the bust point line, I'll be coming down by 1 inches. So I came down by 1 inch, and then from that point I'll use my ruler to slant all the way down to the bust point line. So I'll just take out these areas that I'll be taking off as well. So we are good to go. I'll label this as my front yoke. After doing that, I'll go ahead now to cut out my pattern. I'm sorry, when I was cutting, my phone wasn't recording at the moment, so it stopped at some point. So I've gone ahead to cut out the pattern, as you can see. So what I'll do next is to take out the bust dart. So I'll take out the bust dart and then use my sellotape to hold it together. So I'll label my lines and we are good. So I realized this neckline is not as tiny as I want it to be. So I'm just going to make some adjustments. So from this center front here, I'll come in a bit. So it depends on how you want the neckline to be actually. So I just want it to be a bit tiny. So guys, after taking from this part, I'll also take out from this part as well. I just want it a bit tiny. So I'll just use my scissors to take out the areas I'll be taking off. After doing that, we are good to go. This is how I want the neckline to be. So guys, what I'll be doing next is to draft out the back. So I've gone ahead to draft out my back pattern. You can see the zip allowance. You can see the shoulder, the chest line and the half length. And for the neckline, I'm using 5 inches. I came down by 1 inch for my shoulder slope and then curved my armhole. So guys, what we'll be doing next is to determine how you want the back neckline to be. So for the back neckline, I want it to be a V-neck. So from the shoulder, I'm going to come down to 7 inches. So I came down by 7 inches, as you can see. From that point, I'm going to connect it to my neckline. So after connecting to the neckline, I'm just going to slant it to the zip allowance just like this. So we are good to go with the neckline. So to eliminate zipper bulge, I came in by 1 inch at this point. And from that point, I'm just going to slant it all the way up. So I slanted all the way up, as you can see. After slanting, we are good to go with the back. I'll go ahead now to cut out my back pattern. So guys, please subscribe to my channel if you're yet to. After cutting out the back pattern, we are good to go with the drafting of the back and the front pattern. I'll label my back pattern and then cut out my fabric. Now for the down part of the gown, I folded my fabric into two. So from the starting point, which is the waistline, I'll chalk my hip line. So from the starting to the hip, I chalk 10 inches. And then after chalking 10 inches, I connected it into a straight line. Then I check how long I want the skirt to be. So I came down by 4 inches from the hip line, then connected it into a straight line as well. So what I will do next is at the waistline, I'll place my waist divided by 4 plus 2 inches sewing allowance, my hip divided by 4 plus 2 inches. I connected the line all the way to the length of the skirt. So from the waist, I'll come down to like 5.5 inches. And from that point, I'm just going to curve it all the way down to the length of the skirt. Guys, please just bear with me. My phone camera was misbehaving at this point. So after connecting my lines, this is what it looks like. I went ahead to cut it out. So for the back, I folded my fabric into two, chalked my zip allowance area, then placed my front after the zip allowance. So go ahead, place your front after the zip allowance and then cut out the back. So after cutting out the front and the back, I've cut out the lining piece. So I'm just going to open the front, place my lining on it, stitch the side, then flip it to the right side. Then for the back as well, I'll open it up, place the lining on the back, close the zip allowance area and the side, then flip it to the right side. So guys, you can see how my bustier is looking. I have a detailed video on how to perfectly pad a bustier. I'll drop the link for you to watch. So guys, after joining my bustier, this is what it looks like. For the back, I've closed it with the lining, as you can see. So what we're doing next is cutting out the yoke. I've gone ahead to cut out the yoke. I added allowance all around, as you can see. For the yoke, I'm using the main fabric for the lining as well. I have two pieces for each of them. So what I'll do is just place the right side on the right side, as you can see. I'll do the same thing for the other part as well. Place them right side facing each other. After placing it, I'm going to be stitching all the way up to this point and also close the down part as well. Do the same thing for the other part as well. After doing all of that, this is what it looks like. As you can see, I'm gonna have to give it a very good press. So what I'll do is attach it to the bustier. So now what you do is place this just like this and make sure the armhole are matching each other. Place them right side facing each other and then pin it down together. So make sure when pinning, the yoke is resting properly on the bustier. So just pin it down and you do the same thing for the other yoke as well. Make sure it is matching the armhole. So guys, after joining my yoke, I'm going to be joining my lining to the bustier. So I'll place them, stitch the neckline and also the sides. Then I'll flip it to the right side. So this is what it looks like, as you can see. Then for the down parts, I've gone ahead to join my lining to it, as you can see. So I'll place the top part and the down part together, right side facing each other, then close using half inch. I'll stitch using half inch all the way down. Then for the back as well, I'll go ahead now to place the top part on the down part of the back. Then I'll stitch using half inch, and after stitching, I'll go ahead now to close the zip allowance area. So I'll stitch them using half inch, right side facing each other. So guys, after doing all of that, this is what it looks like for the front, and also this is what it looks like for the back. So I've closed the zip allowance area, as you can see. So I'll place the front and the back together, right side facing each other. After placing them, what we'll be doing next is closing the shoulder area using half inch on both sides. Then I'll go ahead to shape my dress. So guys, after shaping, this is what it looks like, as you can see. So what I'll do is open up these parts. Opening up the zip allowance area, I'm going to be checking what I have all the way down to the other zip allowance in order for me to know the amount of fabric I need for the pleats. So I'm just going to place my tape and check what I have all around. So we are checking what we have all around in order for us to know the amount of pleats we need. So I have 57 inches. So I'm using this doll face fabric, which I have 4 yards, and this net I have like 10 yards. So I'm going to be pleating using this on that. Then this net will be on top of it. Hope you understand. So now to know the amount of fabric to cut for the pleat, place your tape at the half length, which is 17 inches, and then check what you have there. I have 24 inches. What I want for this gown is 50 inches. So from that 24 inches, I'm going to chalk 50 inches and also add 2 inches for folding allowance. That's the amount of fabric I'm going to be cutting. So guys, I've cut out the door face as you can see. So what I'll do is to fold the down part. I'll fold the down part. After folding the down part, I'll go ahead, take out my time to pleat to get 57 inches. I'll do the same thing for the net as well. So after pleating, this is what it looks like. As you can see, I've also pleated the net. You can see what the net looks like after pleating. So what I'll do firstly is to join the net and the door face together. So go ahead, join them together and trim off the excess at the top part. So guys, what I'll be doing next is joining the pleated fabric to the gown. So I'm just going to place them this way, placing them right side facing each other. So I'll place them right side facing each other. I'll place it at the zip allowance area as you can see. And then I'm going to be stitching using 1/2 inch all the way down to the other end. After doing that, this is what it looks like. I'll just place them together and then I'll be chalking where I want my zip to stop. After checking that point, I'm going to be stitching. So you double stitch that point and stitch all the way down, then attach your zipper to it. After attaching my zip to it, this is what it looks like as you can see. So guys, what I'll be doing next is cutting out the sleeve. So my fabric is folded into two and I folded it into two again, which is into four. I'll be cutting for the two sleeve. So now what I'll do is from the starting point, I'll place my tape and chalk where I want my sleeve to stop. I'm chalking 30 inches. So what I'll do next is to carve out my armhole. So I'm going to use my free hand to sketch out my armhole, and then from that point I will take it all the way down. So guys, I made the armhole a bit bigger because I want some pleat around that shoulder area. So I'll pleat the armhole to get my armhole measurements. Hope you understand. So I'll go ahead now to cut out my sleeve. After cutting out my sleeve, make sure to notch the middle part of your sleeve. Then for the down part of the sleeve, I'm going to be folding it. So I'll fold the down part of my sleeve and then we are going to be attaching our elastic into the elastic casing. Hope you get it. So guys, I've gone ahead now to attach my sleeve to the dress. Then what I'll be doing next is attaching the elastic into the elastic casing. So guys, I'll go ahead now to use my office pin to pass the elastic in. After doing that, I'm going to be stitching and then I'll repeat same process for the second sleeve. So I'll go ahead now to attach my elastic and stitch and then show us the end result. So guys, this is the end result. This dress is not mine, just take note of that. So it's not really my size. This is the back view. You can see what it looks like at the back, and this is it. Hope this tutorial was helpful. Please do not forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video, drop a comment, and make sure you're following me on Instagram, on Facebook as So It Is. Bye.